On Monday, August 21st, 2017, the shadow of the moon crossed the United States in a total solar eclipse. Now, as anticipated as this event was, and considering how far in advance we all knew about it, I still never really made plans. The 2,500-mile-long portion of the path of totality, which crossed the United States, spanned a swath stretching all the way from Oregon to South Carolina. 12.2 million Americans live within that path, and the closest portion to me was in Oregon. My hometown of Seattle lies just under 200 miles north of this area. Despite all of this and knowing it was coming up, I neglected to look at any of the hotel prices in the area until it was too late. Every single hotel was fully booked days in advance of when the actual eclipse was to take place. So I was fresh out of luck. And you know what? I was okay with that for a while. After all, Seattle is still close enough to the zone of totality to see a partial eclipse with 93% of the sun covered by the moon. 93% is a lot. Here is an animation of what the eclipse would have looked like from Seattle. That's pretty cool, right? But it's not the coolest. So as the date approached, I became less and less satisfied with only seeing a partial eclipse. After all, I was so close to seeing a total one, and I wouldn't get another chance until April 8, 2024, when another total eclipse crossed the US. Well, I lucked out. I was able to get in contact with a friend of mine who lives in the Portland area named Needle Stitch. Talked to her just a few days before the eclipse, and she was nice enough to give me a place to stay. So, on the preceding Saturday, I hit the road and went on down to Oregon. Now, I left on Saturday mainly because of traffic concerns. States in which the total eclipse could be seen were all projecting massive increases in traffic due to the heavy influx of people heading into their states to see the event. And even as I was driving down I-5, I saw signs giving the same warning. Total solar eclipse, August 21st. Expect delays. Luckily, I was able to get to Portland in just a few hours. Needle Stitch and I both had a great time just bumming around Portland on Sunday, and on Monday morning, it was time. Now, the place where my friend lived was still just a little bit too north to see the eclipse in totality, but if we wanted to see a total, all we had to do was drive about an hour south. So we set out towards the town of Amity, Oregon, hoping that by avoiding I-5, we would avoid most of the awful traffic. And so that's what we did. We're in Oregon.
We're in Oregon, well, yeah.
That's not odd for you, though.
No.
We just went through Lafayette, and I guess this is already far south enough to see the eclipse in its totality, but we're going a little bit further, possibly to Amity, Oregon. The road is damaged.
Is it?
It's damaged.
It doesn't look damaged. So in the spirit of eclipses, I feel like this song is appropriate. It's Bonnie Tyler.
You gotta get swifty. Get swifty. Yeah. On the way, we even noticed that the partial eclipse had already begun.
Oh yeah!
It is?
Yeah!
Can I see for a second? Oh my gosh, what the hell? That is insane. So the eclipse has already started.
Yeah, it's starting.
Now this was just a partial eclipse at this time, but already it was a really crazy thing to look at. Now we got closer and closer, and by the time I knew we were safely within the zone of totality, we looked out again and we found a field on the side of the road where many people had gathered clearly for the exact same thing we were doing.
Rude!
Hey, we made it! We're just north of Amity now, and this is a good spot. And the eclipse has already started. You have those pair. Where's the other pair of glasses?
In the glove box, where I told you.
No, they're both right here.
Oh, what?
Look, this one's in your lap.
Oh. Sorry.
Good.
Hey.
Confirmed the... If you happen to be wondering what I'm wearing, those are a pair of Eclipse viewing glasses. Basically, these are just a pair of extremely dark filtered lenses. Now, these are entirely necessary to view the eclipse. It's very, very dangerous to look at the sun without some sort of protection. And protection is exactly what these things provide. I can't see anything. It's crazy. If you watched the eclipse at all, you had better have had a pair of these. And believe me, they were hard to find. Demand for lenses was so high leading up to the eclipse that everywhere that was selling them had sold out days before the eclipse even happened. And this was a problem that was reported on, actually. And authorities were having to warn people about fake glasses and that you really need these if you're gonna look at the sun. I only managed to find these from a scalper off of Craigslist, who apparently had bought up a bunch of them at Fred Meyer and was just selling them for 15 bucks a pop. I got 2 of these, 30 bucks for a pair of these cardboard things. But it was entirely worth it because, again, you need these glasses. But the sun is a thing.
You can't see me giving you dirty looks, son. Oh.
Here. See if you can get that to work. Another great use of these lenses that I hadn't expected at all was to use them as a camera filter. My little camcorder I recorded on had no such filter, and we found that by using the lenses on those glasses, we could get some pretty crazy results.
Well, actually, no. Yeah, there it goes. It focused. That looks so cool. I could actually probably just watch like this.
Look at this field, first of all.
Look at this field.
This field is amazing. There's actually a lot of other people here already. We chose a good spot, I guess. I don't know who owns this land. It did say private property.
No trespassing.
When we cross, no trespassing, but only the slow people will get arrested. That's how it's gonna work. So what's crazy right now, the eclipse has already started. If you look through the glasses, you can see it, but if you did not have these glasses, which were absolutely impossible to find, you would not know there was an eclipse happening right now, that the moon is right now covering part of the sun, because it's still super bright. Like, it's so overwhelmingly bright. Yeah, exactly. It's so overwhelmingly bright, it just looks like a normal day right now, but it is, in fact, being eclipsed at this moment. It is 9:40 a.m. Totality should be at around 10:18 or so, 10:20. And right now you can see it's just daytime. This is what it looks like, so.
That's kind of what happens at, 9-something a.m.
I know, yeah, it's crazy, right?
I feel like I'm watching Heroes.
So we will see. I feel like I'm watching Heroes, yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We will see how different it looks later on.
Can see it. We're gonna save the cheerleader, Cole.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Look at it. It looks like a smiley face in the sky.
Smiling down on us. It's like a Cheshire Cat smile.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It looks like a Cheshire Cat smile.
You're gonna see the 2 eyes like open as slits. It's scary. So right now, I'd say that the sun has to be at least 50% covered. It's kind of hard to tell because, it's a circular object over a circular object. But, I mean, if you look around, it's still day. Like, you really cannot tell. If I, glance quickly up there, without these glasses, you still can't tell there's anything happening whatsoever. Like, it's still just the middle of the day over here. So at the moment, it is 9:56, so we got about 20 minutes-ish, 22 minutes or so to go until Totality. The Totality itself, I think, is gonna be under a minute from here. So don't blink. Don't miss it. Don't blink, the angels have the phone box. So we've been saying that right now the sky still seems super bright, or like how it would on any other day. And so really without these glasses you would have no idea anything's going on until the moment of totality. So it makes me appreciate maybe when people were watching eclipses in ancient times why there's such mythology behind it. Because really it's day, and then 2 minutes of sudden darkness and something swallows the sun up. You had no idea it's happening until it's there, it's gone. So you can understand why there was a lot of mythology surrounding eclipses. As we waited for 10:18 a.m., the local time of totality, we noticed some very strange effects began to manifest themselves. The first of which was that the sky was beginning to get darker. So at this point, it's 10:05, and I think the sky is unmistakably darker than it was. Again, somewhat subtle, and the only reason I can really tell is because I made a point to pay attention to how light the sky was earlier. But if you aren't paying attention, this kind of thing would definitely creep up on you. Yeah, so it's like I'm wearing sunglasses right now. That's how dark it looks. It's really trippy. There were some other crazy effects as well. Notice the crescent-shaped lens flare right here. Such reflections take the shape of the light source. If the light source isn't round, neither will the flare be. This effect was also visible in shadows cast on the ground by trees, anywhere even just a partial eclipse was visible. A lot of people captured some really interesting shadows as a result. That is so crazy. Okay, so it's 10:09. So in the next 10 minutes, it's gonna happen. Oh man, it's just a sliver now. Look, it's like the camera shifted into night mode when you put the lens, the filter over it. And it's like, whoops, nope. Auto adjust.
Wow, look at that.
Oh look, you can actually tell. So look, the bokeh effect on here is still conveying that it's a sliver shape, even though it can't resolve it entirely. It still knows, like, whatever that light source is, it's not round. That's really interesting. The sun is like just a sliver right now, and it feels like I'm wearing sunglasses just by looking around. Everything is so dim. It's absolutely crazy. The sun is a deadly laser.
Watch your screen. You see the screen?
Yes. And for a moment,
there it is.
Look at that. That's so cool. All right, but put the filter back on.
It's holding. It's holding. Oh my god. Look.
That's so cool.
That's so crazy.
All right, put it back on though.
That's what he said.
It's 10:13. We're nearly there. 10:16. It's like 2 minutes and it's total.
Everything is so dark.
Right? I told you it's weird. Oh, we're nearly there. Look, don't miss it now. Oh my gosh, what?
Whoa, look.
Put it on though. Look at that. What the hell? Oh my gosh. It's near, there's like nothing. It's nearly there.
It's still too bright to look at, like, there, though.
Yeah. Oh, look
man.
how dark it's getting.
When the time finally came, it was unlike anything I had ever seen before.
Oh my god. It's gone. Look at that. Boy, oh my god.
Look at the screen.
I see that. I have never seen anything that insane.
The sky became like dusk and the air chilled by nearly 20 degrees Fahrenheit. All were in awe.
Oh my gosh. Photos will never just do this justice.
You gotta.
For a full minute and a half, the sky was no longer ruled by the sun, but by what appeared to me as a gigantic hole in the heavens, staring down at all those who were staring right back up.
Save the cheerleader, guys!
Save the cheerleader,
save the world.
Oh my gosh.
Indeed, some stars did come out. Visible here to the bottom left is the star Regulus. Visible to us as well was the corona, the outermost portion of the sun's atmosphere. It's about as bright as a full moon, but the whole sun is usually around 400 times brighter than that. So usually it's impossible to see, unless something happens to be blocking the rest of the sun.
Oh my gosh.
And then, just as quickly as it began, it was over.
Oh look, it's coming back. The sun's coming back.
And now
put the lens back on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what? And now it's just slowly getting brighter again.
Oh, look at it.
Oh my gosh, what on earth? That was the most insane thing I've ever seen. What the hell was that?
Magic.
I never, like, that's the type of thing where you've seen photos of it, but like there's no way it can ever do it justice.
And now it was time to go.
That was incredibly satisfying. Pictures really do not do that justice. I have never seen anything that insane before. It seems so close too. Wow. America. Packing up. That was absolutely incredible. I'm really glad I came this far south.
While we didn't have any real trouble getting to Amity, we did have a little bit of an issue heading back, as everyone was headed for home at the same time.
This is the traffic we've been told about. All this jam in front of this one traffic light, because on my map I can see it's just this one light up here.
For now.
We've been on this one, like, it's like a 1 mile stretch of road for like the past half hour at least. It's already been like an hour since the eclipse. I know I shouldn't be surprised, but it still kind of sucks. Luckily for us, we only had to get back to the Portland area, but for those who were going further, it was going to be a very long day. At least. Pretty crazy. I mentioned earlier that authorities had given warnings about traffic on the days of the eclipse. Well, before I left home for Oregon, I decided I wanted to document what the traffic influx might look like. And so on my laptop at home, I set up a screen recorder to take an image of Google Maps every 15 minutes. These results show us what traffic was doing during and around the time of the eclipse. Pretty cool, right? The pattern here becomes even more clear when you overlay the path of totality across the country. Traffic maps are not the only cool maps related to the eclipse. One of my favorites is the result you get when you look at search volume for total solar eclipse on Google. States in which the total eclipse was visible had the most interest, and then interest sort of drops off as you get further away. It's kind of the expected result, but still really, really cool when you can actually look at the data in an illustration like this. Here's a fun one from greatamericaneclipse.com showing the total travel time if you're traveling to the path of totality. Given my drive from Seattle, I'd say it's fairly accurate. Here's another one showing the major arterial routes leading people towards totality from different parts of the country. They kind of remind me of rivers. The creators of this image actually dubbed those corridors drive sheds. And perhaps my favorite is this image showing where you can catch a glimpse of the eclipse and Bigfoot at the same time. This sort of data that we can collect from the eclipse, from the just for fun to the more serious, hard scientific stuff, is all valuable to us. Just as beautiful as the sight of the eclipse itself is the sense of awe and wonder, and the opportunity to learn that it gives us. This was an important event, and it's made even more significant by the fact that this was the first eclipse to take place in America in the age of the smartphone, in the age of the internet connecting everyone together. I'd wager a guess that this has been one of the most well-documented and most photographed eclipses that has happened in history. If you have got any photos, I would love to see them. As I gazed up at that giant hole in the sky, I thought about the millions of other people looking up with me. For just a moment, we stopped focusing on our own petty quarrels, all our conflicts, all our fighting, all the divisiveness that has taken this country by storm in the last few years, and we all focused on something new. In that moment, we looked for something higher. Wherever you were on that day, I hope you were safe, I hope you had fun, and I hope you were filled with the same sense of wonder that I was. This was a sight I will truly not soon forget. Thanks for watching.